All right, and welcome to math today. We're going to do some more fun subtracting. So, subtracting with mixed numbers. Our problem today, we have 4 and 1/5, and we're going to be subtracting 1 and 2/5. So, I've drawn a little picture over here, and as you can see, we are starting with our 4 and 1/5. I have 4 wholes, and then I have that another little 1/5 piece down there. And we're going to subtract 1 whole and 2/5. So let's get started. We're going to subtract off 1 whole, and I could probably pick any one of these that I wanted. And I'm going to also subtract off 2/5 as well. So I'm going to subtract off 1. Oh, now we have that little problem of I can't subtract off 2 without splitting this 1 whole up. So I've got to split this 1 whole into 5 pieces. So I'm going to cut that into 5 pieces. And now I'm able to take off that other 1/5 piece. All right. So now what do I have left? I have 2 wholes left. And I also have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those 5th pieces. So my answer is I have 2 and 4/5 pieces left. All right, now let's look and see what that does in our algorithm now. I'm going to show you 2 different methods with algorithm. This one, you stack it up and down, and this one, you are working it across, just like your answer might, or your problem might appear in your assignment today. So you can choose either way. I'm showing you both because I want you to be able to pick. Sometimes your brain likes to work up and down, sometimes it likes to work sideways, and that's okay. You get to choose the way that you like to do it. All right, so to start out with, I can already see that I have 1/5 here and 2/5 here, and so I can't take 2 away from 1, can I? If I have 1 apple, can I take away 2 of them? Or if I have the 1 little 1/5 piece, can I take 2 little 2/5 pieces? No, I can't do that. So that's where we kind of had to do this borrowing type of thing going on over here. We had to take this whole and we had to cut it up into a fraction pieces. So I'm going to borrow it from this 4, and I'm going to make it a 3 now. And I'm going to add that one that I borrowed, that whole piece that I borrowed, and I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm cutting this into 5 pieces, and I have 5 of those 5th pieces, and I'm going to add those together with the 1 piece that I had before, and now I'm going to have 6/5 there. So now I'm able to subtract. Now I can either move this 2/5 over, or I can just leave it right there and subtract this way. I'm just going to move it over just so that you can see that. So 6 subtract 2, I'm going to have 4/5 left. And now I'm going to have to subtract my whole numbers. 3 subtract 1 is 2. So my final answer is, which I should have probably just wrote that closer over here, 2 and 4/5. All right, so you can kind of see where I'm taking off that 1 over here in the picture. That was that 1 whole that I took away. And you can see the one that I borrowed. That was the one that I changed into fraction pieces and added to what I had before. So now you can kind of see how that's working with the algorithm. Now let's look at this algorithm over here. We still have the same problem. We have 1 and we can't take 2 away from it. So this is where we have to do some of our renaming, and sometimes you have to kind of do a little more of this in your head, but we're going to kind of see how it works out with the picture too. So if I have this 4 and 1/5 piece, it's like I'm having to borrow from this 4 and make it a 3, and I'm taking this whole that I borrowed and I'm adding it to my 1/5. So I could actually just put it right here in my problem and say 1/5 plus that 1 whole, 5/5, is going to be 6/5. And now I have 3 and 6/5. And now I can subtract my 1 and 2/5 from that. So I'm always going to subtract my fraction part first and then subtract my whole numbers first, because it's important to do that, because otherwise, what if you subtracted the wholes first and then you needed to borrow from them? Then you have to subtract anyway. So you always want to make sure that you're subtracting your fractions first. So now we can subtract. 6 subtract 2 is going to be 4, and we're going to keep our fifths. And now we're going to subtract through our wholes. 3 wholes subtract 1 whole is 2 wholes. So 2 and 4 fifths. All right, so that's another way to think of it and another way to solve. So you get to pick which one you like the most. So in your assignment, you're going to be doing a T-chart and you're going to be showing the picture. Now, you're not going to do a T-chart on every single problem, just the ones that I assign you, so make sure you make a note of that. And you're going to do a picture on one side, but then you're going to solve in your favorite way of thinking of it on the other side of the T-chart. Okay, again, you're not going to have to do a T-chart on every single problem, because some of the problems you might have to cut it into 100 pieces. What if it's 100th or a 98th or a 97th as your denominator? I don't want you to have to draw all of those pieces. So make sure you pay attention to which ones I want you to draw a T-chart on and solve with a picture and the algorithm. But I'm just going to have you practice on a few. So pay attention to the notes on the assignment. All right, if you have questions, make sure you bring it to your teacher at Zoom, and we would love to help you with it. And that's all for right now.